Good Wednesday morning, friends, or afternoon, or whenever you might happen to join. I'm Reverend Jennifer Finley, our Momentum and Discipleship pastor here at First United Methodist Church in Kirksville, and this is our midweek time to pause together, to maybe drink our coffee. Joyce, I wonder if you still have your coffee going this morning. To drink our coffee or our tea, or to simply pause and to dream and wonder and look together to see how God is at work in our lives and in our world. Last week, I shared a bit about how we sometimes see glimpses of God's kingdom of love and inclusion, God's kingdom of healing here on earth. And I challenged us to look for those glimpses of the kingdom, even in the midst of all that swirls around us. And today I thought I would share a place where I've seen glimpses of that kingdom at work, perhaps in some place that seemed unlikely. I know you probably can't see it very well, but right behind me, this is my office wall, right behind me is a picture frame that has 2 or 3 pictures in it, and a couple of them are pictures of Lake Junaluska in western North Carolina. It's just outside of Asheville, near the state line of North Carolina and Tennessee. Some of you may know that that was actually where I was ordained. While Missouri is home and where I grew up, I spent several years in the mountains of western North Carolina. And so along with you this week, I've been watching images on the news and online of devastation. I've been watching those images of flooding and loss of life and loss of homes, both in that Asheville area, but also up further north in the north corner of the state between Virginia and Tennessee, in an area called Ashe County. I spent about 3 years in ministry there and still have folks I know and love who call that home. And while they are all safe, I've been watching pictures of flood devastation and accounts of folks who are without power and will be without power for another week or two. And those things have been hard to watch, and it's hurt my heart to watch them from afar. And yet, as I've watched that and felt some of that helplessness that we all feel when we're watching a tragedy unfold and we can't do much about it, I have also seen images and read accounts and seen friends talk about the way in which that community is coming together, the way in which people are opening their homes who do have power, the ways in which water is being distributed. There is actually a natural spring that has been there forever and ever and ever. It's called Shatley Springs. And I just saw yesterday that they were back up and accessible. Their road got fixed, and they were saying, bring your containers. The water is flowing freely. Come get some water. So in the midst of devastation, I'm watching a community come together to help each other across all kinds of divides, offering their homes, offering their spaces, offering their showers and their water and all of that. And for me, as I've watched that, that's a glimpse of the kingdom. That is a glimpse of God's love that brings us together in ways that even in the midst of the hard things, we can say, yeah, that is God's kingdom at work. And when I know that Mr. Rogers, that we have often heard the Mr. Rogers quote that says, when something challenging happens, look for the helpers. And I think that may be a good thing. And sometimes those helpers come from outside. Sometimes those helpers are those EMS and all of those response workers and all of the teams that are going to come from other places into those areas in the Southeast that have been devastated. But sometimes the helpers are also the community itself. And that has been, in the midst of a hard week, a joy to watch. And so I'm wondering, can you think or recall of times you have watched a community do that? Northeast Missouri is so good at that. There have been times where we have come together across all kinds of divides, whether it was a natural disaster or simply a community need. We have made that happen, and that is a glimpse of the kingdom. And so I'm wondering today, where can you see God's kingdom at work as communities to come together? Sometimes those things are in the spotlight, but often they're not. Sometimes those make national news or regional news, or we can see them, but sometimes they're much quieter and much smaller. And so my challenge for us is to look, to keep our eyes open this week, to look for ways in which we see community coming together across divides, whatever those might be, in ways that give us a sense of God's kingdom. One place I hope that may happen, I think it will, is an opportunity this coming Friday. Nemo Connect is an organization in our community, a nonprofit, that helps once a year bring all of our service providers, or as many as possible, under one roof at the Moose Lodge, so that folks who are homeless or at risk for homelessness have a chance to be able to come to one place and have access to multiple service providers all at once, to know what is available in our community for them, or if they are right on the edge of needing some assistance, they know what's there. I will be volunteering at that event, and if you are interested in knowing more about that, I invite you to send me a message, or simply come by. I can send you the times, volunteer, or simply look and watch and see one small way that our community is able to come together. So wherever you are this week, whatever it brings, I hope and pray and know that God will be with you and will be bringing us together. Let us have eyes to see that. Go in peace, my friends.